Hello guys, in this video, we'll be going through some HTML basics, which means we will not be discussing anything related to CSS and JavaScript. While doing so, we'll also be designing our first website using HTML only. The main thing we'll be learning will be the different types of tags one must know as a beginner. But before that, the first thing we need to know is the meaning and uses of what HTML. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. As stated in the meaning, it is a markup language, not a program language like the likes of PHP and Python. And we have other different types of program languages. In website development, HTML is the skeleton of a web page. It is the visible part of a web page without any styling, which is done by CSS. In short, HTML is a very important language to learn. To start with HTML, next, we need to set up our workspace with the help of a text editor, a browser, and a folder. We have different types of text editors you can use. We have Atom, Sublime Text, Notepad, and even Visual Studio Code, which is what I'll be using today. Now, to do this, you need to create a new folder in your desired location. So I've created mine under desktop. Now, the next step will be to open your text editor, mine is Visual Studio Code, and open your folder. Open the folder you've created. So to do that, you go to File, Open Folder. So the location of my own is desktop. Then training. So after opening your folder, the next step will be to create a new file. So to do that, you can use the Ctrl N. Then when you create it, you save it with the extension .html. So I'll be using training to save my own. Good. Now, as I said before, HTML is made up of what? Made up of tags. Now, we have, and let me show you an example. But before that, we need to open our HTML document in our browser. So you go to the location of your folder, then open this HTML document here. Open it in your browser. Now I'll put it side by side with the text editor, so you'll be able to see the changes as they are being made while I save my code. Now, for example, let's say I am very happy today because today is my birthday. So now, if you notice in what I've typed here, you see that we have what? We have the U tag here and we have the B tag here. Now we have two U tags. This first one, the one before, is called the opening tag, while the one after is called the closing tag. So here, the opening tag, while here is the closing tag. Now, the difference between the opening tag and the closing tag is the forward slash. You understand? So here now, as you can see, the U stands for underline, while the B stands for bold. The U stands for underline, while the B stands for bold. So this is an example of the types of tags that I've been telling you. So the function of a tag, they are special text that tells the browser to distinguish parts of the web page. It makes the browser to display them in a specific way. As you can see now, the browser displayed this underline, while it made this one bold. Now we're going to move on to the next. Now, when coding, when using HTML, there are some important tags that are very, very necessary. It has to be there. It has to be there. It always has to be there. We cannot start without using any of these tags. Now, the first one is the doc type HTML. This is the very first tag. It tells the browser that you are designing a website using HTML. Document type is what? HTML. Now, the next one is what? The HTML tag. This tells the browser that you are using HTML. Everything within here is what? HTML. Now, within these two, we have the body tag, we have the head tag, we have the head tag, and we have the what? We have the body tag. We have the head tag and we have the body tag. Now, the head tag contains information about the website. It is also where you link your CSS and JavaScript files, but will not be doing any of that. While the body tag is the main content of the web page. Everything you see on your website will be what? Under the body tag. So, this is what we have on line 16 here. Move it. I'll put it under the what? Body tag. Good. So if you save this now and refresh, there should be no changes. Nice. Now, the next one we're going to be discussing is going to be the common tags used in the head and body. Now, the we have, like I said, we have, this is where we link the CSS and JavaScript. Since we will not be doing any of that, we'll go straight to the what? Title tag. From the name, it is for the title of your web page. If you have a website with different pages, they can also have what? Different titles. So here now I'll say my first website. So if you refresh here, make sure you save before you refresh. If you refresh here, you see that here we have it. You see that here, this part of the west of the, you see that this is the title of what? Of your HTML file. This is the title, my first what? Website. Now, back to the body. We're going to start with the header tags. The header tags ranges from what? 1 to 6 and it is denoted with H. So the H has number 1 to 6 in front of it. We have the H1, H2, H3, H4 up to H6. H1 is highest in priority and generally used for the title of the page. H2 is displayed in a smaller font size than H1, while H3 is, as you should know, is also displayed in a smaller font size than what? H2. So let's see the difference. We have H1, H2. Now, if you save and refresh, you see this. Now, let's create a subtitle using H2. Website now if you save this also, so like I said before, H2 is displayed what? In a smaller font size than what? Than H1. Now the next part we're going to be discussing will be what? Paragraphs. Now we have the paragraph is denoted with the what? With the P tag, and it separates content into blocks. So let's say we have low section. Now, if you save this, you see that we have what? We have this, the first block, first paragraph, second paragraph. It's what? It separates content into block. Now, if you want to separate your content into multiple lines without the space that comes with a paragraph, then you use the tag that we call line break. It breaks the content of your website to the other line. It takes it to the next line. Now, let me copy this. So I remove the paragraph tag. Then here also, now if we save this, you see, now we one thing about HTML is that it does not automatically break a line. Does not automatically break a line. To do that, you need the help of what? The BR tag. Now, let's come here. Think, yeah. Now, you see, this I am very happy. It's on the same line with what? This. Even though we have it what? We have it on a different line. Yeah. That's to show you, tell you that it does not automatically breaks a line. It does not create paragraphs on its own. It assumes that everything is what is on the same line. Now, to do this, let's come here and use the what? The break tag. Let's use the break tag here. Now, if you save this and refresh, you can see that it has taken it to the next line. And we don't have the space that comes with using what the paragraph tag. It takes it to the next line. Now, I want to do this for, I'll do it here. So, refresh again. Good. So, can you see the difference between using the paragraph tag and using the what? The break, line break. Now, the next thing we're going to be doing, we're going to be dealing with the tag that we use anytime we want to what? Upload an image. Now, to upload, the next thing we're going to be learning is how to upload images on a website using HTML. Now, to do that, we're going to be using this special tag. We're going to be using the special tag img. Now, this tag, what does this tag do? It lets the browser know that, okay, yes, this is a picture we're about to upload. Now, inside the image tag, we have attributes necessary for us. Now, the first one for the image tag is what? It's going to be the source. Now, the source is the location of what? Of the image. Now, if you notice, I have a picture here in my folder. I have a picture that I named Pic3 in my folder. So I know the location of what? Of the picture. So all I have to do here is what? Just type it. Pic3.png. Make sure you put the extension .png. We have some JPEG, we have JPG, we have different types, but this particular one is what? .png. Now, if you save this and we refresh, reload, I see we have what? We have the image here. Now, another attribute that is very necessary is what? Is the auth attribute. Now, this auth attribute is for purposes whereby if, for instance, the image is not available, it lets you know what is there. So let's say we have window here. Now, if I go ahead here and stop this, which means there's not like pick space 3. That means the picture is not available. What do we have here? Can you see this? We have this small tiny icon that shows. We have this small tiny icon that shows the size, that shows that, okay, yeah, we're supposed to have what? An image here, but their image is not available. And what the idea of the image is what? It is a window. Now, one thing I forgot to mention also is that this part here, you can also copy the link from from the internet. You can also copy a link from the internet. You can have www.speakwhateverng.com. You can put it there, so it will load it from the internet. So I don't have my internet connection on. That is why I'm not loading it. I'm using locally. Good. Now, the next tag we're going to learn about is going to be the link, and it is denoted with what? The letter A. It is denoted with the letter A. Now, this, if you notice, this image does not have what? It does not have a closing tag. Image does not have a what? A closing tag. But this link here, it has a what? A closing tag. Now, let's say this is the link to my bio. This is the link to my bio. Now, if we save this and reload, okay, let me break this. Now, this is the link to my bio. If you see, we don't have what is not looking clickable. Now, the reason why is because this a tag also has attributes necessary to make you know that okay, this is not a link. This is not just any other tag. Now we're going to be using the attributes link. Look, I'm going to be using the attribute href. Now, if you refresh your website, you see that it changes to what? Changes to what? Color purple. It changes to color purple. Now, this href is what? This is where you type in the location, the URL of what of the website you want to lead me to. Now, let's say you want to go to www.chrome.com. Yeah, start. You want to go to www.chrome.com. So if you save this and you refresh, you can see it takes me what automatically to another. It automatically takes me to another what website. It takes me to another website. So this is the function of what the link tag. This is how. So try this how we link another website to a current website that we are designing. So you try it when your internet connection is on, and you see that it takes you to Chrome, takes you to Google, takes you whatever to whatever link URL you've provided for the tag. Now, the next one on our list for is what the list tag. Now, we have we have two types of list tag. We have two types of list tag. We have the ordered list and we have the what unordered list. Ordered list is denoted with what OL, while the unordered list is denoted with what UL. Now, let me show you the difference. We have now if we save this, good. If we save this, you see there's no difference. Why? I'll show you the reason why. The reason why there's no difference is because under the ordered list, under the OL tag, there's another tag that is very, very necessary for us, which is called the what LI tag. It is like list. Now, in between these tags, if we paste it, if you paste the I now, you should see the difference. Can you see? It automatically what labels it with number one with the number one. But if you come over here to the unordered list, it will label you with what with a bullet. Can you see? So this is the difference. So let's assume we have one more. We have two, three, oh, two. Now, if we save this, you see like what it numbers it from what from one to what to four. It numbers it from 1 to 4. The same thing here for this bullet. If you copy it, if you paste it here, it will what it will give everything what the it will list everything with what with a bullet. Now, we can inside a list we can also have another list. Inside a list you can have another list. Take for example this another list here. We have what the first one is what we're talking about phones, and we have iPhone. Okay, I mean we have iPhone. If we reload this page, okay, so let me zoom in again. So what I did was to avoid reloading every time. Now, if you have iPhone here, which means you need what another list. You need another list because we have iPhone Pro, we have the Pro Max. So here we can use list. Then we can say that iPhone. Look, what am I doing? Now we need to know if it is what we need to know if the type of list we are discussing is ordered or what unordered. So here we have another unordered list under the what under the list. Now close the tag. So here we have the list, which is what let's say Pro Max. Now, so as you can see, we can also have what a list under under a list, and the list what goes on like that. So you can also do the same thing for what the ordered list and another list. Now the last tag we are going to be discussing will be the what the table tag. Now, like I've said before, we can do most of these things with the help of what CSS now, which means most of these tags are not really necessary, but we still have to what have ideas and know that what they exist. Now to start that, we need to what use the word tag what table. Now in between these tags, we have what we're going to use the table rows, table header, and what table data. Now the header and the data, they will be displayed in what in a row formation. So that's why we're going to use what the table row tag first. We're going to use the table row tag first. Now in between these table rows, that's why we have what the table what header. Now let's say month. If you come over here and we can you see now, let me zoom in this. Now we can copy this and have other types of. Now here we can have day. So I'm trying to make a table of when a particular student collects the allowance, then the day he collects his allowance and the age and everything like that. Now let me copy this. Now, like I said before, you understand, we have the table what table header and what table data. Now the header what naturally the header is supposed to be what in it's supposed to be both, but the data we're not supposed to have the data in we're not supposed to have what the data both. So we change it to what ah sorry table data. Now to be able to see this thing well, try to create something. Now so we have space, we'll be able to see what we're doing. What am I doing? So what's it? So I'll do this here. Now yeah, we change this what to table data. So the reason why I added the BR tag is so we can see this instead of having it around this place, so to push it up. Now we change this to what this H, we change it to D, so it will be the data. Then here we have D. Now we reload. Good. Now let's change this month to what June. The day to 20. Allowance, let's say receives 20,000. The age, let's say it's 21. Now if we save this, we have this. Now as you can see, we have what we have a table. It looks like the Excel spreadsheet, but it does not have what it does not have border. We have to, if we have a lot of data, we have to be able to separate it with a line. So that's why if you come here, table will give it what a special what attribute border. So in this border, if you give it border one, you see the difference. So as you can see now, we have what we have a line that's separating everybody. So another thing we can do is what give it what another attribute, which is what cell padding. Now we give it one, no, we can give it 5. So if we refresh, we have this. I see we have more space. Now this will be Let me give you one more example. If you copy this, if we copy it and we paste here and we refresh, we have this. So this is everything you need to know about HTML. Thank you.